Buckeye coach has to say.
And today's Eldon Miller Show brought to you by the Bicycle Emporium, Bagel Sportport, and Hilliard Square Hardware.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Get ready for spring with a new bike from Bicycle Emporium. Biking is the way to save gasoline, keep fit, and have fun. The Bicycle Emporium in Oberlin has bikes for every need and to fit every budget. From skilled riders to huffers and puffers, you'll find the right bike as you choose from top names like Rolf, Raleigh, and Motopecan. And if you've already got a good bicycle, bring it in for a spring tune-up now at the Bicycle Emporium, located in the basement of the Sport Shop, 16 South Main Street in Oberlin.
Good afternoon, Big John Wharf, along with the head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes, Eldon Miller. And Coach, first of all, congratulations on being picked for the NCAA tournament. And we're in a beautiful climate in Arizona, and this, I don't know how the other half's living, do you? Well, I'll tell you, John, it is beautiful out here, but it could be 25 below. It wouldn't make any difference to me. The excitement of this game today is just super. And of course, Ohio State belongs in the NCAA tournament every year, and it's taken us about 4 years to get there, but we're excited about this now because when this game starts this afternoon, there are only going to be 17 teams left in the country. When it's over, there's going to be 16. And we want to be one of those 16, John. That's what we're excited about right now. Coach, let's talk just a minute about the Big Ten championship game over at Bloomington, and a game that, well, of course, I thought the Buckeyes just played tremendous, as they did a couple of days before at Purdue. We lost the ball game in overtime, but certainly there were a lot of bright points in that. I think the Buckeyes on a whole played a real good basketball game. Well, there's no question about that. I think defensively we broke down a few times, but and I didn't say a whole lot about it before, but I looked at the films. You know, there was a fiasco there at the end of regulation. There were 3 missed calls. Any one of them could have been the ball game. So, you know, it was anybody's ball game. And of course, our team the last 8 games has been playing very, very well. The improvement of Kellogg, the improvement of Jimmy Smith, the continued good play of Kelvin and Herb, and what we've been getting from Carter and Larry Huggins and Jimmy Ellinghausen coming off the bench, and the attitude of the other young people on the team have just meant that, you know, our team's really gotten after things in the last 8 games, and it couldn't come at a better time, John, because we've got the opportunity now that, you know, you may not get. This is the last go-around for Kelvin and Jimmy Ellinghausen and Mark Hetz and Tony Hall, and we're in the NCAA tournament. Our goal was achieved a long time ago to get into the tournament. Now our goal is to win the tournament. And there isn't anything more exciting than what's looking at us right now today, John. Coach, we'll be back to talk about the tournament, but right now we're going to pause for this message.
Business women like me who are away from home a lot need a partner like Grange Insurance. Grange minds the house while I mind my business. It gives me a good feeling to be protected against damage from fire, burglary, vandalism, or lawsuits should somebody get injured on my property. I was amazed when I added up the replacement costs of my personal property. Furs, antiques, TVs, stereos. Grange likes me as a partner. The feeling is mutual. Grange Mutual.
This is the time of year when you start looking for your softball glove and wondering when the first practice will be. But Pagel Sportport in Huron reminds you that it's also time to order those softball and baseball uniforms and all the equipment you'll need. Early bird orders received before March 30th get a big 15% discount. So get your order in now and look over the new Loontogs tennis whites now in stock for spring at Pagel Sportport at 346 Main Street at Anchor Point in Huron.
Coach, a lot of things have happened at this point in time. As you mentioned, this tournament started out with 48 teams, and, well, before the afternoon is over today, there'll just be 16 left. Any real surprises that you've seen along the way?
Well, I think, you know, the one real surprise, a big upset was Lamar beating Oregon State out of the Southland Conference, and their coach even came out and said that, you know, they had tougher games in their league. Well, I think, you know, there's really a lot of fine teams, and, of course, Notre Dame losing, I think, was somewhat of an upset, but Missouri really has an outstanding is, and of course followed with Ohio State and Arizona State on Arizona State's floor. And I'm kind of pleased that we had to play in West Lafayette and we had to play in Bloomington at the end of the year, because I think that's a good preparation for what faces us here today.
Coach, let's talk just a second about your opponent today. They've got an awful big back line, one that matches up pretty well with the Ohio State Buckeyes, and most of the people, most of the press, most everybody's saying that it's going to come down to what those big people do, and nobody's talking about Kelvin Ransey. I've turned it around. I think maybe he might have a little bit to do with the outlook of the ball game.
Well, there's no question about that. I think what excites people is the fact that we do have two very tall, very physical front lines. They've got Alton Lister at 7 foot plus, probably to about 235, 240 at center. They've got a very tall forward, Nymphius, who was runner-up for Player of the Year in the Pac-10, 6'10", about 225. And Williams, the little guy in the front line, is about 6'8" and a half, and has great quickness and runs exceptionally well and really gets the offensive board. But the backcourt is going to be very significant for both teams, because in their backcourt they've got Lafayette Lever, has great quickness, is a true point guard, doesn't look to shoot it a lot, likes to run the break, plays a very good defense, and the surprise player for them this year has been Byron Scott, who's the freshman of the year in the Pac-10, 6'4" guard, who's a phenomenal shooter. They can bring a couple 6'6" swing-type players off the bench, Johnny Nash and Paul Williams, who's a great shooter. So they're about 7 deep with very, very high-quality players. They're a very, very talented team. They're a big team, and their philosophy is run and shoot basketball. We saw them score 99, and they had 66 with about 5 minutes gone in the second half when they took the regulars out in the opening round of the tournament. Makes for a great, great game, John.
Coach, excuse me, Coach, one final question. I got to see Al McGuire on the tube the other day, and he made the statement that Ohio State's got the finest back line in the country. Your comments on that?
I think in the last 8 games, we really do have. I think the improvement of Clark Kellogg over the course of the season, the improvement of Jimmy Smith over the course of this season, puts us in a position, and of course I feel Herb's the outstanding center, where we do have the strongest front line in college basketball today. Of course, I haven't seen all of it. Maybe McGuire has seen all the great ones in his television contest, but we feel we can match up today pretty well with anybody, John. And, we felt that way all year, but the improved play, the consistency, the development of Clark, particularly defensively and rebounding, has been outstanding. And, of course, Jimmy Smith, the last 8 games, has been a very, very outstanding player for the Buckeyes. And I think we've gotten very good help from the bench with Jimmy Ellinghausen. So I think our front line right now has just been playing super for us. And as we mentioned earlier, now is the time for that to happen.
Coach, good luck. Let's just make this 1 of 5.
Thank you, John.
This bud's for you, for being on the job and working hard all day. This bud's for you, for all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This bud's for you, for all you do. This bud's for you.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Hilliard Square Hardware is the home handyman's one-stop shop. You'll find a complete supply of plumbing and electrical supplies. Hilliard Square Hardware in Lakewood also carries garden supplies and equipment. And since it's not too long till grass cutting time, bring in your lawnmower now to be sharpened and repaired. And let Hilliard Square Hardware repair your storm windows and screens when it's time to make the change. That's Hilliard Square Hardware, located at 15641 Madison at Hilliard in Lakewood.
You've been listening to the Eldon Miller Coaches Show over the Phase 1 OSU Radio Network. Tune in 15 minutes prior to each game to hear the Buckeye coach talk about his favorite subject, Ohio State basketball.
And today, the Eldon Miller Show brought to you by WZLE, the Bicycle Emporium, Pagel Sportport, and Hilliard Square Hardware.
Good afternoon, and welcome to a beautiful, sunny Tempe, Arizona, the site of the NCAA West, well, let's call it a sub-regional. This one leads us into the regional tournament. One game just taking place here today. UCLA upset the number 1 ranked team in the country, DePaul final. UCLA 77, DePaul 71. Good afternoon again. I'm Big John Wharf, along with Larry Bolden and Scott Wallace, and we'll have Ohio State basketball coming your way in just a very few seconds. The Buckeyes of Ohio State, 20-7, will take on Arizona State 21-6 in just a few minutes. We'll be back after these words.
It's time for Ohio State basketball over the Phase 1 radio network. Buckeye basketball is made possible this season by Grange Mutual Insurance and by Budweiser, the king of beers. And in your area by these local sponsors.
Lorain County Bank, Harvey's Wallbaggers, The King's Den, Star Builders, Atlas Insulation, Dietary Foods, and Kroll Spray Systems. It is now 5:26 at WZLE 104.9.
Well, the Ohio State Buckeyes have just returned to the court. They had spent some time here a few moments ago, then went in to get some last-minute instructions from their head coach, Eldon Miller. The host team here today, the Sun Devils of Arizona State, they finished second in the Pac-10. And, of course, the first-place 10, as you might well expect, Oregon State has already been upset here in the tournament. And Arizona State certainly wants to keep alive the Pac-10 hopes. And to do that, they'll have to beat the Ohio State Buckeyes. And the cheering you hear in the background is a welcome for the host team here, Arizona State University. We are in Tempe, and we have been instructed to call it Tempe and put the emphasis on the P. It is not Tempe. It is Tempe, Arizona, and it is 72 degrees, ladies and gentlemen. And if you've got to be anywhere, Scott Wallace and Larry Bolden, this is not a bad place to be. Excuse me for a second. I get my bathing suit off here. Whoa. So it's wet. It's cold in here. A little air conditioning on. I hate to rub it in back home, folks, but it's awful nice down here. En route flying over to Tempe, Arizona, we had the, I guess, misfortune, you might say, to go through Chicago. And I love every inch of Chicago, don't get me wrong, but while we were coming through yesterday, they accumulated about 5 inches of snow, and we were in the air for an extra hour and a half waiting for them to clear the runways. But as soon as we got in and out of Chicago, we got into some beautiful weather here in Tempe, Arizona. That's enough for the weather. Now let's talk basketball. Arizona State, the number 2 team in the Pacific Coast League, the PAC, and the Ohio State Buckeyes, the number 2 team in the Big Ten. 2 Big Ten teams will be advancing to the regional tournament. Both Purdue and Indiana have succeeded in doing that. Iowa also, I believe, a victor. And so I think going into the regional, now 3 teams, and Ohio State could be the 4th, to make it to the final 16. Certainly a great representation for Big Ten basketball. The Buckeyes have their work cut out for them this afternoon, however, as they once again are on the home team's floor. That's the Arizona State home floor here we're playing with. And, of course, we've got 14,468 fans. It was announced just a few minutes ago. And you can bet that about 14,000 of them are for the Arizona State Sun Devils. Well, the Ohio State Buckeyes, well, the quote coming off the TV around the nation yesterday about the finest back line in basketball, and they attribute that to the Ohio State Buckeyes. I quizzed Eldon Miller on it a very few minutes ago at our coaches show, and he seems to agree with that. He thinks, Larry Bolden, we may have the best back line in the business, especially since Kellogg has kind of come into his own here in the last, 6 or 7 games, and Jimmy Smith has just been playing outstanding basketball, especially on defense, and of course Herb Williams is one of the best centers in the country.
John, the reason why they made that compliment because each of those players complement each other so well. Herbie is coming around, Jimmy is coming around, and Mr. Kellogg is doing a fantastic job playing basketball for the Buckeyes this year, John.
All right, that was Larry Bolden, the past captain and 1,000-point scorer for the Ohio State Buckeyes some 3 years ago. And I tell you, we've been in the same hotel with the Buckeyes. They seem to be in good spirits. This looks to be just a dandy, and we'll be back to talk about the opposition. Arizona State, their head coach, Ned Wharf, gave us a few minutes of his time. We'll be back right after this word.
This bud's for you, for being on the job and working hard all day. So here's to you, for all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Many people are discovering a new way to lock in current high interest rates for the next 2.5 years with our investment certificates. Of course, a substantial interest penalty is required for early withdrawal from all time accounts. See a Lorain County banker for details soon.
Countywide, Lorain County Bank, on your side.
Member FDIC.
Back once again at Tempe, Arizona, and we're going to turn things over now to Scott Wallace and a close look up, the Arizona State Blue Devils.
Coach's name is Ned Walk. Had a conversation with us shortly prior to game time, and he's still on the edgy side. This is our conversation on the way it went. Coach, welcome to Phase 1 Sports and also to American Forces Radio. About 20 million listening today. It's nice to have you with us.
Well, thank you very much. Nice to visit with you.
Coach, I want to ask you personally, what's this game mean to you today?
Well, I think it means about as much as it means to anyone else that has the privilege of playing the NCAA tournament. Of course, these are things that anyone who plays college athletics points to when the season starts way back in October and coaches start yelling at everyone. So I think it means a lot to a school. It means a lot to your recruiting program, obviously. So it's what it's all about as far as college athletics, particular basketball is concerned. So we're delighted to have the opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament.
How much sleep do you think you've missed in the last couple of days?
Oh, I don't know whether I'm not one of the sleepless ones. I'm the ones that don't eat, that type of thing, that has trouble eating. And we just, I do my worrying mostly before I go to sleep. Once I get to bed, I'm all right. So, but it's worry time, particularly right now when you're talking to me.
Let me ask you, what are the key matchups today? It's an obvious question, but maybe not for the folks listening around the world.
Well, of course, this game is going to present a tremendous front-line matchup, I think, with Kellogg and Williams and Smith against our Sam Williams and Memphis and Lister. And Lister goes at 7, and Herb Williams goes about that, but is probably bulkier. And Memphis is 6'10", which is about the size of the other two guys. Kellogg is about the size of Sam Williams, so there's going to be a lot of beef and a lot of height there. So probably the game might be decided on which type of beef works best for the athletes.
There's been a lot of press about the fact you're playing on your home court advantage. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about the negatives that are associated with that kind of thing?
Well, I've been on record a long time ago, way back in the 60s, as being opposed to that concept. I really do not believe that any team should play on the home court in the NCAA tournament. I've always been against that. We've had some opportunities such as this year in which it's turned out good for us. On the other hand, I've played UCLA at Foley too during the NCAA tournament. Did not like that very well.
Okay, there he is, the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils. Ned Walk will come back with their starting lineup and all the play-by-play action with John Wharf after this message.
As you drive toward tomorrow, you're bound to hit a lot of little chuck holes. But don't let this bend you out of shape. The way to get safely to tomorrow is to make friends with a Grange agent who's been down this road many times, knows most of the chuck holes, sees them coming. Grange wants to be your partner. The Yellow Pages can lead you to your nearest Grange agent, your partner in protection. So let's be partners.
Enjoy spirited competition, exercise, and have fun. Be a wall banger. Join Harvey's Wall Banger Racquetball Club across from the Midway Mall. There's memberships for everybody, from individual and family to student and corporate groups. And Harvey's Wall Banger offers 10 professional courts, universal exercise equipment, pro shop, saunas, steam, and whirlpools. There's planned social events, free supervised daycare, and professional instruction at Harvey's Wall Banger across from the Midway Mall on Griswold Road in Elyria.
Okay, let's take a look at the starting lineup right now for the Arizona State Sun Devils. It looks like this. Brian Scott, a 6'4" freshman averaging 13.5 points a ball game, will be at the point guard position. His running mate will be Lafayette Lever, a 6'2" sophomore averaging just under 10 points a contest. On that back line for Arizona State, Alton Lister, 7 foot, 237 pounds, the junior. averaging 12 points a ball game and just under 9 rebounds a ball game. That's Alton Lister. Along with him on the backside, Sam Williams, a 6'8" junior, averaging 12.6 points a game. And then the big fella for Arizona State is Kurt Nymphius, a 6'10", 218-pound senior, averaging 16 points a ball game and 10 rebounds per game. For the Ohio State Buckeyes, they'll go with Kelvin Ransey, the All-American from Toledo, Ohio, at one of the guard positions. He's averaging 15.3 points a ball game. His running mate will be Carter Scott, the 6'2" junior out of Barberton, Ohio. He also averages in double figures at 10-3. On the backside for the Buckeyes, Herb Williams, 6'10", 242 pounds, a junior out of Columbus, averaging 17.5 points a game and 11 rebounds. He'll be in the pivot position. And on either side of him, Jimmy Smith, a 6'9" junior out of Cleveland, and Clark Kellogg, a 6'7" freshman out of Cleveland. Both of those fellas will be on the backside with Herb Williams. We're ready to go. At center circle, Alton Lister, 7 foot. Herbie Williams controls the trip, gets it to Kellogg. Buckeyes will be shooting basket right of your dial. Kellogg takes the first shot up, gets a little good jelly off the backboard, and it drops, and we're up 2-0.
For Buckeye fans, John, that's the way to get the jitters out in a hurry, make that first shot.
Right, here we go. Down come the Arizona State Sun Devils into the corner, far side, and now the pivot. Big fella inside is Lister. Gets it in along the baseline. Williams got a jumper up and in. Sam Williams, the 6'8" junior, ties the score at 2 apiece. Buckeyes in their white travel uniforms. Actually, they're their home uniforms at home, but they're in them here at Arizona State. Arizona State in a dark maroon with gold trim. Into the pivot, Herbie Williams. Buckeyes with the ball, has it batted away. In the front court, Brian Scott brings it down on the pass on the far side. Shot is up, it is no good. There's a whistle and a foul. Let's wait and see. They have called a personal foul against Kelvin Ransey. A blocking foul on Ransey. And it'll send Lafayette Lever to the line, I believe. Hell no. I believe they say, evidently it must have been on the drive. There'll be no shot. The ball goes to Arizona State underneath their basket. Inbounds pass in the corner, left side. Scott's got a jumper up and in. Brian Scott hits one from the deep left side, and it's 4-2.
Well, that's a pretty shot he's got, John. All net.
No doubt about it. Here comes Ransey for the Buckeyes. Ohio State down 4-2. Into the pivot, they go to Jimmy Smith. Jimmy on a move, got a turnaround, got it up, and he's called for charging. Charging called against Jim Smith. That'll be the second personal against the Buckeyes, the first on Jimmy. And Arizona State will get the ball out of bounds after the offensive foul. Sun Devils on top 4-2. Buckeyes look just a little bit shaky right now. In the backcourt. Lever across the 10-second line, checked by Carter Scott. They take it into the pivot. Turnaround, Lister's got it up, off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound, Clark Kellogg, and he loses the ball out of bounds. Kellogg went high for the Buckeye rebound, but when he turned around, he was hit by a couple of people inside, and the ball went off his leg and out of bounds. Arizona will get the ball underneath their hoop. With the ball, top of the key, Brian Scott. He's a good one, a 6'4" freshman, averaging almost 14 points a game. Has the ball stolen away by Kelvin Ransey. Kelvin on the drive, going to stop, takes it to the hoops, got a jumper up and in. Basket by Ransey, and we're tied at 4 apiece.
You know, John, before the game, you made a comment with Eldon, and that is that Kelvin's name has been missing as far as a factor is concerned in this game, and obviously he can control this particular contest.
No doubt about it. He's one of the best guards in the country, senior guards in the country for sure. Inside they go. They go to the big fella, Alton Lister, and he is fouled by Herbie Williams. Lister up with a two-hand dunk on a good feed in the corner from Lafayette Lever. Arizona State 6, Buckeyes 4. Lister will go to the line to shoot one. He's got the possibility of the three-point play. He is a 54% free throw shooter. Now shot is up and he's got it. Arizona State 7 on the Buckeyes 4. Ransey in the backcourt, and Arizona State drops back into a man-to-man defense, but they put pressure on as we come across the 10-second line. Carter Scott, top of the key, now to Kelvin Ransey on the left side. Kelvin on the move, foul line's got a jumper up a little bit long, it is no good. Rebound controlled underneath by Alton Lister. He's the big 7-foot center. He gets it out to Scott, he'll bring it down. Has his shot blocked by Jimmy Smith or Kelvin Ransey. Let's wait and see.
Might have been on Jimmy Smith, John. Calling it on Kelvin.
All right, it'll be Brian Scott to the line, and the second personal foul on the Buckeyes' Kelvin Ransey. A 72% free throw shooter. Scott's first shot is up. It is good, and he'll have one more.
John, what they're doing with the Buckeyes, they're taking the ball right to him, and the Buckeyes are not intimidating him in the early going.
All right, there's the next foul shot up. It is also good, and it's Arizona State 9 and the Buckeyes 4. Kelvin Ransey now playing with 2 personal foul, brings it down, comes top of the key now to Carter Scott. Carter with the basketball, back to Kelvin Ransey. He's got a jumper up and hits it. Kelvin from that left baseline hits one from about 18 feet. 9-6. Sun Devil lead 3 points as Lever brings it across the 10-second line. Checked closely by Carter Scott. Into the pivot. Big fella, Lister. Drops one off to Nymphius. He's got a shot up off. No good. Rebound. Carter Scott. Here come the Buckeyes. 3-on-2. Over to Kelvin. Can't get control of it. Carter picks it up. And we're going to have traveling called. Traveling called on Ransey. Just couldn't get a handle on the ball. Pretty good pass by Carter Scott. The ball just popped up in the air. Traveling or broken dribble or whatever was called, and Arizona State will have it.
When they make the good ones, you got to give them credit. That was a good call, John, right?
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. Here comes Lever across the 10-second line with Arizona State. Into the pivot, turnaround jumpers up and off the rim by Lister. No good. Another shot taken inside by Arizona State. And we've got a whistle and a foul. Let's see who it is. It'll be on Jimmy Smith on the rebound. Arizona State come into play here this afternoon. And for the Buckeyes, that is their 4th team foul. That's their 15th foul. That's what I thought, Larry Bolden. 15th foul against the Arizona State Sun Devils. Foul shot is up. It is good by Kurt Nymphius. That's the first time his name has popped into play. He is the stalwart of this Arizona team. Next foul shot is up. It is also good. Arizona State 11 and the Buckeyes 6. And the Buckeyes now in a bit of foul trouble. Not a foul yet been called against Arizona State. 5 against the Buckeyes in the early going. Carter Scott with the ball. Back out front to Kellogg, now to Kelvin Ransey. Ransey tries to get it into the pivot. There's a foul called. There is the first personal called against the Sun Devils. It'll be on Lafayette Lever, the 6'2 sophomore guard. And the Buckeyes will get the ball out underneath. Kellogg will handle it for Ohio State. Clark took the first shot of the basketball game, hit it, but has not been in play much since. Inbounds pass to Kelvin, pass into Herbie's, got it up, off the rim, no good, gets his own rebound, takes it right back up, slams it home, and it came through and hit Lister on the head. I got a 2-for-1 there. Arizona State 11 and the Buckeyes 8 on a 2-hand slammer by the big fella Herb Williams. Sun Devils bring it down into the corner. Sam Williams lets the long jumper go. No good. Carter Scott on the Buckeye rebound. Here comes the Bucks on the drive. Carter's going to take it himself, put it up. No good. Ball's batted out of bounds. Buckeyes will get it. Carter coming hard. Ransey was filling one of the lanes on the fast break, but Carter decided to take it himself. Couldn't get it in the hole. Ball batted out of bounds. Buckeyes get it. Inbound pass to Herb Williams. He's got a little 8-foot jumper up and good.
John, the guards will neutralize each other. The game will be won with the big fellas inside.
All right, and traveling called in the backcourt against Arizona State Sam Williams. A couple of calls now going against the Sun Devils. It is 11-10 on that last jumper by Herb Williams, and the Buckeyes have the ball and a chance to go on top as Kellogg inbounds it from the midcourt stripe. He gets it back from Ransey in the corner right side. Kellogg on the drive, going to bring it back out front. Carter Scott, top of the key, left side now to Ransey. Kelvin with the basketball, into the pivot. Herbie Williams, turnaround jumper, off the glass, no good. Rebound controlled underneath by Arizona State. Here they come, 3-on-3 situation. Lever will hold it up, now makes a move down the lane. Has his shot blocked by Williams, but a foul will be called, and it'll be on Herb, I believe. Well, Lafayette Lever gave us a little double clutch at the top of the key and took it in at about 100 miles an hour. Herbie was there to block the shot, but then he slammed Lever to the floor also.
Guess who Lever beat on that play? I mean, he just beat Kelvin Ransey out and out on that play.
All righty, Lever will go to the line to shoot 2. He is a 71% free throw shooter. Substitution Buckeyes. Ellinghausen comes into the basketball game. He replaces Jim Smith for Ohio State. At the line, Lever to shoot 2. First shot is up. It is a little long. Hit the back plate and bounced out. No good. Arizona State 11 and the Buckeyes 10. This is a biggie. Well, this is winner or go to the showers for good. Next foul shot is up. This one hit the front of the rim, the backboard, and then dropped. 12-10, Arizona State by 2. Big, strong Arizona Sun Devil team. Buckeyes bring it down. Carter Scott now top of the key, goes to Kellogg in on the left baseline. He's going to take the shot. It's going to be way off. If it was a pass, it was a dandy. Elling put it up, no good. Missed the layup, and Arizona State with a rebound. Here they come. They like to run. 3-on-2. They go to the corner. Scott's got a shot up, no good. He's hit a couple over there. He gets his own rebound, takes it up again. There's a ball tapped out front. Carter Scott controls it. Here comes Carter and Ransey. Ransey in the corner, back to Carter. He's got the jumper up. And it's good, and we're tied to a dozen apiece. 12-12.
John, they call that transition basketball, and with the Buckeyes doing it, the Buckeyes are winning basketball games.
All right, Lever brings it down for Arizona State. We're tied at 12 apiece. Into the corner, far side, Nymphius. With the ball, he's going to take the jumper. He's got it up long, no good. Rebound, Ellinghausen, Ohio State, over to Ransey. Here come the Buckeyes. Could go on top for the first time since the early going. Kelvin takes it underneath to Herbie. He's got a shot blocked. Out of bounds, and I think Ohio State will get it. Pretty good defensive effort by Alton Lister, the 7-foot center for Arizona State. Right now, there is an official timeout on the court. 14 minutes, 46 seconds showing on the clock. That remains in the first half. We're all tied at 12 apiece, and we'll be back in a minute.
It's but for you, for being on the job and working hard all day. For you, for all you do, the king of beers is coming through. For all you do, it's but for you.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Easter's almost here, and that signals the first of many spring social events, including graduations and weddings. Make sure you're dressed for the occasion. Visit King's Den in Sandusky, the clothing store for big and tall men. Just because you're not a size 40 doesn't mean you can't dress in style. When you shop King's Den, you'll find pants up to size 60 and shirts up to size 22 neck size. Look for spring suits, sport coats, shirts, ties, and accessories now at King's Den in Perkins Plaza in Sandusky.
Okay, we're back in beautiful Tempe, Arizona. Got a halftime score. John, Kentucky leads Florida State by a big margin, 49-27 at halftime. Kentucky leading Florida State, 49-27.
Doesn't surprise me a bit.
I want to compliment you, and I mean this. You called that the fall UCLA game. We all had a long conversation the last couple of days about what we thought was going to happen, and obviously if the Buckeyes can get past this first game, and that's kind of a superfluous statement because they have to win the contest. But if they do, I think they can go all the way. I think you agree too. But you picked UCLA over DePaul without any problem at all.
Never had a doubt in my mind on that one either, and I'll guarantee you Kentucky will be there. They're playing at home.
We got a matchup here. I'll pass on to you real quickly. Georgetown and Maryland go at it in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for that East Regional. That should be one heck of a contest.
All right, now we're going to work here. The Buckeyes will get the ball out of bounds, and they go in the corner to Ellinghausen. Tries to get it back to Herbie. Herbie is coming down when he should have been going up or something, but the ball goes out of bounds. Turnover Buckeyes, and Arizona State will bring it back. Lever across the 10-second line for the Sun Devils. Looking into the pivot. Now they go. The big fella. Lister on the turnaround hook. It is up. It is good. Alton Lister from about 6 feet, just a sweeper. He has 5 points on the night, and Arizona State's on top 14-12. Buckeyes bring it down. Carter Scott, top of the key. Brings it left side, goes into the pivot. Herbie Williams, turnaround jumpers up off the glass, no good. Rebound controlled underneath by Kurt Nymphius. Outlet pass to Scott. Here come the Sun Devils quickly. Into the middle, it is Lafayette Lever. Can't find a handle on it. Now he's got it. So Arizona State will slow it down now, bring it out and set it up. Lever with a basketball into the pivot to Lister. Underneath, he tries to get it to one of the big men, Williams, but the ball is batted out of bounds, and I believe Williams is the last to touch it. Buckeyes will get the basketball. In the backcourt, Ransey, he'll bring it up. Kellogg now comes down into the right corner. Kelvin Ransey, top of the key, goes to Kellogg, right side. Kellogg on a move to the baseline, stops, puts one up, way short, no good. Whistle foul, it'll be on Sam Williams. Williams got a hand on Clark Kellogg, and Clark will go to the line and shoot a pair. One of the better foul shooters on the Buckeye squad, hits it about 80%. And he has a little ritual preceding each foul shot, kind of flips it in the air about, 2, 3, that time maybe 4 feet, we're on TV. Catches it and then just lets it fly almost in one motion, and that one was right through the middle. We're within 1, 14-13, Kellogg could tie it now. There's the shot, it is up, it is good. Kellogg now with 4 points. So the Buckeyes tie it at 14. We were tied at 12 just a moment ago. Down comes Lever with a basketball against Carter Scott for the Sun Devils. Looks to the pivot, not going to go. Back out front. Top of the key now, it is Brian Scott. Into the corner, far side to Sam Williams. Williams looks, brings it back out front to Lever. Lever checked by Carter Scott, has good quickness, comes down the lane, not going to take the shot. Gets it into the corner to Williams, he's got a jumper up, no good. Herbie Williams for the Buckeyes on the rebound. Out to Kelvin Ransey, he gets it down quickly. Kelvin stops, goes into the corner to Kellogg. Back out to Ellinghausen, back to Kellogg, baseline left side. Out front, way out front, Carter's got to hurry, almost let it get over the 10-second line. Carter Scott, good move down the lane, is going to be fouled by number 11, Brian Scott. Well, we've got a Scott on each team. Brian, a guard for Arizona, and Carter, the Scott for the Buckeyes. We got a couple of Williams on each team. Sam for the Sun Devils, and of course we got Herbie for the Ohio State Buckeyes. So those names will pop up twice as much as usual. Buckeyes will get the ball now underneath their own basket. We are tied at 14 apiece. 13 minutes and 4 seconds remain in the first half. This is going to be one that will go to the wire also. Way out front, Carter Scott, top of the key, not going to take it. Now he forces it at the foul line and he hits it. That's a cowboy shot. That's appropriate for this neck of the woods. He let that one go from the holster. Buckeyes on top, 16-14. Carter Scott now with 4.
Hello, American forces.
Here we come down along the baseline. They try to get it inside. Kelvin Ransey on a steal. He'll bring it quickly himself. Kelvin down the lane, going to stop and pop. In and out, no good. Slam dunk by Herbie Williams from nowhere. Comes Herbie and rams it home two-handed. Buckeyes on top, 18-14, and that will silence the Sun Devil crowd for a moment anyway. Brian Scott brings it down for Arizona State. Into the corner to Nymphius, back out front, top of the key now to Sam Williams. Into the pivot, turnaround jumper by Lister, no good. He gets another shot at it, no good. Finally controlled underneath by Kellogg. Buckeyes have the basketball, Kellogg has it. Kellogg will bring it himself across the 10-second line, top of the key. Gives it over to Kelvin Ransey. He's got one up. Oh, a little bit long, no good. Rebound, Kellogg. Not going to take it back up. We got a foul, though. He was in traffic. Kelvin has missed one from about 14 feet that he normally gets. And they're all in there close. Who is the foul on?
Number 11, Byron Scott. Oh, Brian Scott, I'm sorry.
Okay, we got a call against Arizona State. We've also got a timeout. Arizona State sees this one slipping away slightly. Buckeyes have taken an 18-14 lead. We'll be back with more action, NCAA tournament style, from Tempe, Arizona, right after this.
Is your stamp or coin collection insured to its full value? How about your antiques, furs, or art treasures? They could have grown greatly in value since the beginning. If lost or stolen, they could never be replaced. But it would help a lot to know you get a fair settlement through your Grange Insurance Inland Marine policy. Ask your Grange agent for a quote on whatever you want covered. No obligation. Grange wants to be your partner in protection.
A perfect checkmate is the winning move in chess. By the same token, if you play carefully, you can win more than you might think with your checking account at Lorain County Bank. Compare our minimum balances with your bank. We want to help you make all the winning moves. See you Lorain County bankers soon.
Countywide, Lorain County Bank, on your side.
Member FDIC.
Okay, we are back with the Buckeyes on top, 18-14, about 11:58, almost 12 minutes left. Tony, what do you think so far, friend? How you like this action?
Scott, the Buckeyes are playing smart basketball. They're playing good defense, and they're rebounding the basketball real well in the early going.
Okay, and during that timeout, the Ohio State cheerleaders are here, and they finally got on the court to do a cheer, and by golly, we got 25 or maybe 30 fans here.
I got some scores for you if you're ready. You want them?
All right, shoot what we got until we get to the line.
In one overtime, North Carolina and Texas A&M deadlocked at 53 apiece. And at the half, Syracuse 40, Villanova 28.
All right, we go to the foul line with Clark Kellogg, and his first foul shot is up short, hit the front of the rim, and came right back to him. No good. Ohio State with a 4-point lead. He'll try to make it 5 as he'll shoot now the second one. It is up, it is good. Substitution, Ohio State. Tony Hall comes into the basketball game, and he'll give Kellogg a rest. And so now for Ohio State, Carter Scott and Kelvin Ransey remain at the guard positions. Tony Hall, Ellinghausen, and Herb Williams on the backside. 19-14, Ohio State on top, and Arizona State brings it down. Brian Scott out front, gives it to Lever, gets it right back. Buckeyes man-to-man. Into the corner, far side to give it to Sam Williams for Arizona State. Now out front it is Nymphius. Now into the corner with the big fella Lister. Lister out on a wing. Out front, Williams. He's got a jumper up, no good. Controlled underneath, no good. It's controlled underneath by Scott Lever. He puts it up, no good. Rebound again underneath by Brian Scott. And he's called for traveling, or I believe Arizona State would have just shot the ball until they made it. They just kept putting it up and getting the rebound. Traveling called on Scott. He was not happy with the call. The Buckeyes get it, and here we come. The basketball in the corner, far side, Carter Scott. Looking to the pivot, Herbie Williams can't go, brings it back out front. Now they get it inside to Herb. Herb turning it around on the big fella, not going to go anywhere with it. Now turns around, puts one up long, no good. Rebound controlled underneath by Lister. Here comes Arizona State. Fast break over to Nymphius. He's got a shot up. It is no good. And we got a blocking foul that'll be called on Carter Scott. Carter came in with a cross body block underneath, and Nymphius goes down, and he'll go to the line to shoot a pair.
Buckeyes call for a clip on that particular play. I got to tell you something. Basketball amazes me. I can't believe it. But that Syracuse-Villanova game, the second half is over already. 97-83, Villanova, or the Syracuse wins out over Villanova in that game.
All right, here in Tempe, Arizona, we go to the foul line with number 54, Kurt Nymphius. He is a 69% free throw shooter, and his first shot is up. It is good. 19-15, Buckeyes lead by 4. Nymphius now with 3 points, and he could cash in one more as he eyes the hoop, and the one-hand pusher's up and good. 19-16, Buckeye lead cut to 3 as Kelvin Ransey brings it down for Ohio State. Ransey takes it into the baseline, corner right side to Tony Hall. Back out front now to Huggins, who just came into the ball game. Now to Ellinghausen. Back out front, Huggins. Huggins with a basketball to Kelvin Ransey. Ransey looks inside. Kelvin gets the pick, goes to the baseline. He's open. There's the shot up. It's good. Good pick set by Tony Hall, one of the few we've seen this year for Kelvin. And he cans one from the baseline from about 18 feet. Buckeyes by 5, 21-16. Lever with a basketball top of the key, checked by Ransey. Gets it into the corner to Nymphius. Checked by Ellinghausen. Now out front. Inside, the big fella. Has a shot blocked beautifully by Herbie Williams. Alton Lister went up, and Herbie Williams slammed it right back at him. And then we've got a foul called away from, well, not actually away from play, but Brian Scott came over to block shot and was called for pushing off, and so there's a foul against Arizona State.
I think there's second, John.
Buckeyes get the ball following the Arizona State personal. Kelvin Ransey brings it up for Ohio State. Into the corner left side all the way to the baseline. He's going to stop, going to take the shot. Got it up, he's got it in. And a foul's called underneath on Lafayette Lever. Ramsey's basket is good, and the Buckeyes take a 7-point lead, and the Arizona State fans become a little hostile. What do they do when they get hostile in Arizona is what I want to know.
Work pass is what they do, friend.
Ransey to the line to shoot one, would cash in on the 3-point play.
You don't have anything to worry about with nothing on top. Okay. They can't get you.
Right. Ransey
Foul shot is up. It is good. 24-16. Ohio State now with an 8-point lead. And we've got an official timeout on the court. Ransey with 9 of those Buckeye points. And with time on the court, the score reads Ohio State 24, Arizona State 16. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
This bud's for you, for being on the job and working hard all day. This bud's for you, for all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This bud's for you, for all you do. This bud's for you.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
To satisfy your building needs, Star Builders will provide you with the most building at the best possible price. Don't start construction on that commercial building, business office, or warehouse until you see a pre-engineered metal building by Star Builders. They truly believe their customer comes first and will construct a fine, energy-efficient building for the lowest possible price. See the award-winning Star Builders on Route 113 in South Amherst or call 986-5951 for more information.
Okay, back here, of course, in Arizona. 24-16 Buckeyes on top, and this broadcast is authorized under broadcast rights granted by the NCAA through Jim Host and Associates, Incorporated, Lexington, Kentucky, solely for the entertainment of our listening audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the description and account of this game without the expressed written consent of Jim Host and Associates Incorporated and the NCAA, 120 Kentucky Avenue, Lexington, Kentucky, is prohibited.
All right, play is back in, and Arizona State brings it down. Pass outside, goes astray and out of bounds, but it was touched last by the Buckeyes' Huggins. And so near midcourt, Arizona State will inbound it again. Out front, we've got Scott and Lever. Lever with the basketball now, checked by Kelvin Ransey. The Buckeyes have been man-to-man all the way, so has Arizona State. With the ball in the corner, Nymphius out front to a guard that just came into the game, Johnny Nash, number 14. Shot taken in the corner, no good. Ball loose and out of bounds. Let's see. Now, Kelvin Ransey is the last to touch it, and they're going to give it to Arizona State. Johnny Nash will inbound the ball to the corner to Scott. He's got a long jumper up. It's an air ball. Misses everything. Huggins on the Buckeye rebound. Ball passed down court, intended for Herbie. For 18. Pretty nice effort on Jimmy Smith when he tipped that ball across to Ransey. Ransey laid it on the glass, and it was pinned there by an Arizona State player. We've got transition basketball to the point sometimes you can't make your mouth go fast enough. Near side, Ransey. Buckeyes with the ball. They go to Herbie Williams inside. Turnaround is up. Blocked nicely inside. Herbie gets it back, right back up and in. So Lister did a nice job on the first attempt by Herb Williams, but Williams stayed with it, took it right back up and in. Buckeyes again by 8, 26-18. Down come the Arizona State Sun Devils, and in the corner a long shot is taken by Johnny Nash, and he hits it. Johnny Nash, a 6'7" junior, a 200-pounder who just came into the ball game for the Sun Devils. 26-20 the score. Buckeyes lead by a half a dozen. And they are playing with a lot of their frontliners not in the ball game. In the corner, but not a lot of them right now. Ellinghausen has just gone on the side, so we have only Huggins in along with the 4 starters. Kellogg out front and now to Kelvin Ransey. Ransey with a basketball, takes it all the way to the baseline. Stops, gives it to Herbie Williams. Ball batted away, picked up by Arizona State. Nobody is back. Ryan Scott will have the layup and comes in. A two-hand slam dunk by Brian Scott, and Arizona State has cut the Buckeye lead to 2. That's a 4. 26-22. Ransey brings it down for Ohio State. Looking to Williams. They go. Right back to Kelvin. He's got a jumper up. A little bit short. No good. Air ball. Rebound Nymphius. Arizona State has it. They come quickly. Into the corner. Far side. Scott. He's got a jumper up and in. Basket by Brian Scott. 26-24. Arizona State with 6 unanswered points. And Coach Eldon Miller of the Buckeyes off to slow his club down a little bit. Says to hold it up. And now the fans have something to cheer about here in Tempe, Arizona. Huggins with a basketball. Into the pivot. Jimmy Smith, top of the key. Smith down the lane is tripped by Lafayette Lever, and Lever picks up his second personal foul. His third personal foul, and the Buckeyes will go to the line now because they are in the 1-on-1 situation.
Lots of bruises being traded out there, John. It's probably one of the toughest games I've seen physically this year.
A lot of big people out there, no doubt about it. Substitution for Arizona State. Number 34, Paul Williams comes into the lineup replacing Lafayette Lever. Lever going to the bench with 3 personals. At the line for the Buckeyes is Jimmy Smith. He'll have the 1-on-1 opportunity. Is fouled on the drive. He's a 54% free throw shooter. Foul shot by Jimmy is up. It is in and out. Then it hit the backboard and came back through. So it is good. 27-24. Buckeyes by 3. Jimmy's next foul shot up. This one is off. No good. Rebound controlled underneath by Alton Lister. Paul Williams, he brings it up. We now have 3 Williams on the floor in this basketball game. There's a long cross-court pass by Johnny Nash to nobody. There's just nobody in that corner. The ball out of bounds to the Buckeyes. Kelvin Ransey and Huggins now in the lineup for Ohio State. The backside remains the same as the starters. Smith, Kellogg, and Williams. For the basketball, Kelvin Ransey takes it into the baseline right side, brings it back out to Huggins. Huggins to Kellogg, left side. Clark back out front, top of the key to Kelvin Ransey. Ransey at the foul line has a jumper up. It is good. That ball hits the front of the rim, the backboard, and then dropped. It was not a swisher, but it gives the Buckeyes a 5-point lead, 29-24.
Excellent follow-through for Jimmy Smith on that particular play. He went up, played with the ball, made sure it went in.
And Ransey now has converted 11, and we've got a whistle and a foul, and it's going to be against Ohio State. It is on Kellogg, and that is his first personal foul. It'll send Kurt Nymphius to the line. He's a 70% free throw shooter, and he's got his first foul shot up and good.
Well, I talked to Eldon before the game, and I asked Eldon what he thought of the first game here, the DePaul-UCLA game. He picked UCLA, and I also asked him about this contest. This was the one he was most concerned about, John, this game right now. He said, if we win this one, we'll go all the way.
29-26, Buckeye lead has been cut to 3. Ransey with the ball, looking inside to Herbie, gets it inside to him. Turn around, Herb Williams off the glass, good. So he has taken it to Mr. Alton Lister, and Mr. Lister is going to know he's been in a ball game before this one is over. Williams now with 10, and the Buckeye lead is 5. Down come the Sun Devils, and into the corner to Nymphius, left side. Back out front to Paul Williams. Back to Nymphius, in the corner, left side. Now back out front to Johnny Nash. Nash into the corner. Scott, he's got the jumper up. It is long. It is no good. Tipped by Arizona State, no good. Finally controlled by Jimmy Smith of the Buckeyes. Ohio State with the basketball and a 5-point lead. Just under 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Ransey brings it down into the corner, far side. It goes to Huggins. Huggins to the baseline. Stops, looking for help. He's going to take the jumper himself. It's up. It is long. It is no good. Rebound, Kurt Nymphius of Arizona State. Into the corner, far side. Scott has the basketball. Lost control of it for a moment and asked for a little help from Lister as he went by. Down into the corner, Johnny Nash, and now into the pivot to Lister. He's got a shot off the glass. It is no good. Rebound controlled. Herbie Williams, outlet pass to Ransey. Here come the Buckeyes. 3-on-3. Kelvin down the lanes. Got one off the glass. No good. Ball controlled by Arizona State. Nymphius has it. He's out quickly to Paul Williams. Williams brings it down, takes a shot up. It is no good. The rebound is loose. Picked up by Kelvin Ransey. Here we come again. Back come the Buckeyes. Kellogg at the foul line. Stops short. Way short with a shot. And it's controlled by Arizona State. So we've done a lot of running, but no scoring both ways.
That was a bad shot on Kelvin's part, or rather on Clark's part, John. Low percentage shot.
Brian Scott brings it down and takes it into the corner. Far side, it goes to Kurt Nymphius. Top of the key now. It is Johnny Nash into the pivot. Turned around by the big fella, Alton Lister. He's got it up and in. 31-28. Buckeyes have a 3-point lead with just under 5 minutes remaining in the first half of this contest. Ransey brings it down for Ohio State, goes to Huggins in the left side. Huggins looking into the pivot, doesn't go. Gives it to Kellogg out front, back to Huggins. Oh, he's got a shot way off, no good. Rebound, Kellogg back up and in. Huggins took a jumper from that deep corner, was off with it, but Kellogg was there to put it back up and in. 7 points now on the night for Kellogg. And the Buckeyes lead by 5. There's a long shot taken out front by Nymphius. Williams up for the Buckeye rebound and gives it off to Kelvin Ransey.
John, you notice Arizona is not running up and down that court. If the Buckeyes can stop them from running, the Buckeyes will win this basketball game.
Okay, Larry Bolden, Buckeyes bring it down, go to Herbie Williams inside. He's double team, triple team. Finally, it is taken away by Johnny Nash. Outlet pass goes to Brian Scott into the corner, far side. Paul Williams, he's got a drive and a jump shot, no good. Tipped by Nymphius, no good. Whistle and a foul. Let's wait and see. It appears to be against Ohio State. Let's wait and see. Looks like it is on Jimmy Smith. It is the third personal foul on Jim Smith, and quickly Ellinghausen comes off the Buckeye bench. Seven-man team that does most of the playing for Arizona State. Williams is a 71% free throw shooter, and he has his first one up. It is good. That cuts the Buckeye lead to 4, 33-29, and he'll have one more. This one is up. It is also good. 33-30, Arizona State cuts the Buckeye lead to 3 as Ransey brings it back. We started. Ransey across the 10-second line into the pivot to Herbie Williams. He's got a shot up. He is fouled by Nymphius. A personal foul called underneath. I'll tell you, Herbie Williams, Larry Bolden, is taking the ball to the hole tonight. He is really working hard in there to get open and doing a good job.
John, one of the reasons why Herbie is taking it to the basket because he's trying to prove something to the fellas. They say the game will be won inside. They say they have a 7-foot center that will outplay Herbie today. Herbie is an All-American center. That's why he's taking the ball inside against them because they cannot stop Herb Williams.
All right, here's the foul shot by Herbie. It is up. It is no good. He'll have one more. Buckeyes with a 3-point lead. Things being thrown on the court here now by some of the partisan fans here at Arizona State. Williams, next foul shot is up. It is long. It is no good. And Nymphius hits the rebound for Arizona State. So the Buckeyes missed both ends of a 2-shot foul, and that hurts a little bit. 33-30 the score. Ohio State on top. Long cross-court pass into the corner to Brian Carter, or to Brian Scott, and he's got a shot up and in. And I mean, those are from 22, 24 feet. About as deep in that corner as you can get. Brian Scott now has 10.
They're not lucky shots either, John. They're good, pure shots.
Kelvin Ransey brings it down for Ohio State. Into Carter Scott on the left side. Now to Herb Williams, who is out near the foul line. Right back to Kelvin. He gets the pick down the lane. Takes it to Ellinghausen. He's got a jumper up and in. Feed by Ransey. Basket by Ellinghausen. Ohio State 35. Arizona State 32. 2 minutes, 45 seconds showing on the clock. That remains in the first half. With the ball, Brian Scott gives it in the far side to Johnny Nash. Now out front to give this to Sam Williams. Williams to Scott. He's got another low hook jumper up and in again. Brian Scott, and those are from 25 feet now. I mean, those are from downtown Phoenix. 35-34. Arizona has cut the Buckeye lead to 1. Scott now has 12. That is Brian Scott for the Sun Devils. Into Herbie Williams. Turnaround jumper is up. No good. On the rebound is controlled underneath by Arizona State. They can go ahead. Coming down now. With a ball down the lane. A shot is taken. It is off the rim. Off the hands of Brian Scott. Rebound to Clark Kellogg. Kellogg leading the fast break. 3-on-2 situation. Kellogg will take the shot. No good. Tip by Ellinghausen. Tip again by Ellie. Ellie's going to take it back up and is in. A left-hand hook shot from the far side. And Ellinghausen gives the Buckeyes a 3-point lead. 37-34. Good second and third effort by Ellinghausen. Super. Brian Scott brings it down for Arizona State. Gives it to Johnny Nash. Takes it in. Baseline. Stops. Pops. Good. Johnny Nash. A junior. 6'7", 194 pounds. Off the bench and doing a nice job for the Sun Devils. 37-36. A minute and a half remaining in the first half. Ransey brings it down for Ohio State. Into the corner. Carter Scott inside to Herbie Williams, got a shot up and in. Well, we got a foul called on Herb Williams on the drive. Wait a minute, let's see. No, I think they have called it on Nymphius. Herbie turned around and had a shot up. Nymphius got one in the chops, and he'll get a rest. And coming back into the ball game is Alton Lister. His foul shot now, after missing his first 2 attempts, he has this one up and in, and he'll have one more. Buckeyes 38, Arizona State 36. Next foul shot is up. It is also good. 39-36, Ohio State by 3. In the backcourt, Brian Scott brings it down. Cross court to Johnny Nash. He's got a jumper up. It is no good. Rebound controlled by Carter Scott. Buckeyes get it out quickly into Kelvin Ransey at the foul line. Back to Carter. He's got a shot up. Oh, my. Boy, was he. He was clipped good and we had kind of a late whistle. Well, that one official now, I mean, he's got to be about 4'8". And he is really small when he gets around Herb Williams and those guys now. Foul was called on Paul Williams. He'll send Carter Scott to the line to shoot a couple. 1:06 remaining in the first half. Carter Scott shooting at 81%. Has a foul shot up. It is good. 40-36, and the Buckeyes now on top by 4. Substitution, Ohio State. Kirshner into the lineup, replacing Ellinghausen. Well, now, wait a minute. He does not replace Ellinghausen. He replaces Herb Williams for the final minute 5. At the line, Carter Scott to shoot one more. Got it up, got it in.
On that last foul, Williams said, "Stand up, ref." He said, "I am."
41-36, 5-point lead, and Carter Scott now has 6. Sun Devils bring it down into the corner. Johnny Nash back out front, top of the key to Sam Williams. Big pivot man, Alton Lister, going to go to work on Kirshner, can't do it. Gets it out to Scott, he's got a jumper up, no good. Rebound, Kellogg, and with what strength he pulled that one off. That is what you call awesome. Oh my, he was up in the heavens to get that. 35 seconds and the Buckeyes go to 4 corners. They always get a kick out of this in the season. Maybe they'll do better in the NCAA. Kellogg and Carter Scott had a little trouble controlling it. 25 seconds now. Kelvin way out front. Buckeyes lead by 5. Would like to get the last shot and hopefully score. Oh, and the guy out front made a call and he forgot what the rule was. Kelvin just put it on the floor and he had 5 more seconds. Oh, man. Well, they've called the 5-second jump ball infraction, but they blew it, I'm afraid. We'll do it at the center circle, and the tip will be controlled by Arizona State. That's too bad because Kelvin had just put it on the floor. Scott with a basketball. They go into the pivot. Turn around. Wait a minute. We got a whistle and a foul prior to the shot, and it is on Kirshner. Kirshner picks up his first personal. And it will send the Arizona State center Alton Lister to the line to shoot a pair. Now, no, wait a minute. They'll probably make it 1-1. Lister, a 55% free throw shooter, will have the 1-on-1 opportunity. The foul called prior to the shot. There's the shot. It is up. It is good. 41-37. Again, we're in that delay for the last shot. Here's Arizona State scoring. We haven't gotten the shot yet. 8 points now for the big fella. His next foul shot is also up and in. 41-38, 10 seconds remaining. The give is to Kelvin Ransey. Kelvin down the lane, stops, top of the key, fires it up, and what a beautiful shot. Ransey, 2-1, that's it. Kelvin Ransey hits the 25-footer to end the first half, and the Buckeyes will go to the dressing room here at Tempe, Arizona, with a 5-point lead. It is Ohio State 43, Arizona State 38. We'll be back with halftime festivities. Also should have a guest. We're on hopes we have one of the coaches from the winning team of the first game, UCLA. And, of course, that was a mild upset in many people's minds, I'm sure, because of the rankings. DePaul, of course, ranked number 1. I think a lot of people thought that UCLA might be able to win here. I know I did. and they did here earlier, 77-71. Hopefully we can have one of their coaches on to talk a little bit about tournament play and, of course, the regionals that will be taking place in Tucson next week. So you stay tuned for Larry Bolden and Scott Wallace and their comments, and we'll be back with halftime festivities right after this 2-minute message.
How would you like...
Scott Wallace along with Larry Bolden here at halftime, and our halftime guest, and he's got to be excited. Of course, he's been through this success before now. Our halftime guest is one of the fine assistant coaches for the UCLA Bruins, Larry Farmer. And Larry, you're no stranger to NCAA competition and to winnings. You were on that championship team not once, not twice, but 3 times. I was very, very fortunate, Scott, to have gone to UCLA right during the heyday. Fortunately for us, we kept winning, and I tell you, today was very special for me. Throughout all the championship games that I've been involved in, today really was very special, a lot different. First championship you won sitting on the bench, though, right? Well, I got to play behind 2 guys that weren't very well known, Sidney Woods and Curtis Rowe. I kept trying to convince Coach Wooden that he was making a mistake, but they kept winning, so I guess he decided to go with them. But that was an experience for me. I was the 3rd forward on that squad, and the win-loss we had that year was to a great Austin Carr team back in South Bend. 89-1 in your collegiate career. What a thrill that had to be. Well, I like to brag about it, but now that I'm in coaching, I hope that one team that I'll be associated with will come close to doing that. How's it feel? What's the difference now in being on the bench? Your industry clothes, coaching, assisting a fine coach and a heck of a good guy. I like Larry Brown a lot. What's it like being over there with Larry now as opposed to going out in the court and sweating? Well, Scott, initially when I first got into coaching, it was very, very difficult for me. You sit on the bench and you find yourself jumping up and down. You want to get back in the game and play. But I've made the adjustment now, and Coach Brown is a teacher of basketball. I learn something different from him every time I sit on the bench. Not only does he teach the players, but I'll make a suggestion to him on the bench, and he'll turn to me and tell me exactly why that's a good suggestion or why it's bad. So he's really helping me as a coach. But he's a very knowledgeable man, great basketball coach, and he's great with the kids. Let's talk about talent of the UCLA Bruins team. Larry Farmer, assistant coach. Certainly not the caliber of the Waltons and the Jabars and what have you, and the Wilkes and the Wicks of years gone by, but a good team, and a good team that beat the number 1 ranked DePaul Blue Demons. How you feel about it? Well, we're a scrappy team. I think because we don't have the dominant center in the middle that our talent has been downgraded. But our kids come to play, they play hard, they go for 40 minutes, and at least during the second half of the season, they've been listening to the coaches. Maybe that's why they're winning now. But go ahead. But we've always thought that down the line we had as much depth as anybody, and sometimes the ability to hustle and play hard is as good a talent as being able to run quickly or shoot. Can I tell you one thing I'm impressed with? And I'm impressed with this most from the two dominant schools in Los Angeles, and that's USC and UCLA, and that is I have never met a ball player that wasn't super intelligent and articulate, and that goes an awful long way for both those universities. Let me break and we'll come back and you can articulate some more, right? I'll play Howard Cosell here with you, Larry. We'll be back with Larry Bolden, Scott Wallace, and our halftime guest, Larry Farmer, assistant coach for the UCLA Bruins, right after this message.
This is OSU head football coach Earl Bruce. As a graduate of Ohio State University and a former assistant coach here, returning to campus is exciting. Ohio State is growing, not just for the sake of growing, but to meet the changing needs of people. For example, emergency health care today requires more than just an emergency room. Ohio State University Hospital's new emergency department provides equipment and professionals available to all. Ohio State University, meeting the needs of people everywhere.
Want to save money and solve your energy problems? The people at Atlas Insulation have the answer. A phone call to Atlas Insulation at 988-4417 can help you drastically reduce your home heating bills. Atlas Insulation has been installing urethane foam since 1959 for residential and commercial buildings. Learn how you too can enjoy the year-round comfort that comes from a well-insulated building. Stop in at Atlas Insulation, 7417 South Dewey Road in Amherst, or call 988-4417 soon.
Okay, once again, we're back in this halftime. We got about, I'd say 5 minutes left before we resume the second half, which is basically a brand new ball game. Ohio State on top by 5. 43-38. Our halftime guest, Mr. Larry Farmer, a Super Bowl player, and now hopefully the ranks of the great coaches of all time is what he'd like to place, I'm sure. His name in that category, up and coming. He's a backup and an assistant for Larry Brown of the UCLA Bruins, and they just beat DePaul. And how'd you feel about that one? Well, you know, my feelings with DePaul go back a little bit further than Coach Brown. Last year, DePaul was the team that eliminated UCLA from the NCAA playoffs. We'd beaten them earlier in the year at Pauley Pavilion, beat them pretty handily, but we shot the ball extremely well. I think we opened the second half of that game going something like, we made 19 out of our first 21 shots. We come back and play them in the finals of the Western Regional. They played an excellent game. I believe they were in the four-corner offense for about 28 minutes of a 40-minute game. We made a remarkable comeback after being down 17 points. They went on to win the game. We opened this year and we played them. And they again play a great game in Pauley Pavilion, and they beat us. So looking back over that, I really had a score to settle with DePaul because they were number one and they had everything to lose. And you know, people didn't understand why UCLA was even in this tournament.
Can I say the phrase how sweet it is?
Yeah, I'd go along with that right now. Boldy, going on to another game right now. You got two outstanding teams out here on the court. Which team would you rather face? I'll tell you what, I look at the size of both these teams, and I don't think I'd want to play either one of them. I hope there's a way that they can both lose, but they are so extremely gifted. They're big players inside both teams. Herb Williams, Smith, Kellogg, and then you look at Arizona State, who's in our conference. It's amazing that kids that size are that gifted athletically. When you scout a team like this, what are some of the things you look for as far as strengths and weaknesses? Well, you know, you look at Ohio State, and one thing you've got to do is force them to shoot the ball from the outside because, again, they're so big and strong and active on the offensive board. They're getting second and third shots. The same thing with Arizona State. You look how you can prevent them from going inside to the big people and maybe force them to take one bad shot from the outside.
Let me ask you, as far as the folks listening all over the world are concerned, there are people in every major country in this world listening to you right now, Larry Farmer. Is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of UCLA or on behalf of yourself?
I really would. I played basketball over in Germany for a year, and this was during 1975 when UCLA won their last championship. And I listened to the Louisville game, which we won in the last seconds, and I listened to the Kentucky game on AFN radio. And I just hope that the people there are listening to the game and really enjoying it. Everything back here is fine.
Bless your heart, it's been a pleasure, and I hope we get to see you, because if we get to see you again, that means we'll be in Tucson come Thursday night, right?
I sure hope so.
I don't think you'd be here at halftime then, though, would you, Larry?
I wouldn't miss it.
You're super. It's been a pleasure having you here with us. There he is, the assistant coach for the UCLA Bruins, Mr. Larry Farmer. We'll come back, take a look at the first half stats, and then get into the tip-off of the second half of this very crucial game for both the Sun Devils of Arizona State University and the Buckeyes of Ohio State. We'll pause the same starting lineup that Arizona had to start the ball game. There's the toss by the official. Tip is controlled by Ohio State. The give is to Kelvin Ransey. On the drive, he's got a shot off the glass. It is no good. It goes out of bounds, and, well, they're going to give it to Arizona State. Inbound pass to the backcourt to Lafayette Lever. He'll bring it up. Lever across the 10-second line. The Buckeyes have dropped back into a 2-3 zone defense. The basketball in the corner far side, Sam Williams brings it back out front top of the key to Lever. Lever penetrates down the lane, comes into the corner to Scott. He's got a jumper up. This one is off, no good. Rebound Kellogg. Ohio State outlet pass to Ransey. Here come the Buckeyes. 3-on-3 situation. Kelvin over to Ellinghausen. Got the jumper, doesn't take it. Cross-court pass to Carter Scott. He's got a jump shot up. Going to be a little short, no good. Rebound to Alton Lister. Lister with a rebound. Outlet pass to Lever. Lever brings it down, goes into the corner. Baseline jumper by Williams, up and in. Sam Williams scores in that deep corner left side. Has 4 points now for Arizona State. The Blue Devils cut the Buckeye lead to 3, 43-40. Buckeyes bring it down. Ellinghausen goes into the pivot to Herbie Williams. Herbie on the turnaround jumper's got it up and in. The Buckeyes and Arizona exchange baskets. Ohio State back to the 5-point lead, 45-40.
Down come the Sun Devils. They go to Nymphius on the right side, and now back out front to Lever. There's a lob pass underneath intended for Sam Williams, and it was one of those situations where the pass was a pretty good one, but Williams was coming down rather than going up. And the end result is the ball out of bounds, and the Buckeyes will have a chance to stretch that lead to 7.
Trying to get an upset here. Texas A&M in double overtime over North Carolina, 78-61. That only leaves, if I'm not mistaken, Maryland to the ACC still alive.
All right, down come the Buckeyes, and there's one from downtown from Kelvin Ransey. About 25 or 27 feet away. Ransey now with 15, and the Buckeye lead goes to 7, 47-40. Buckeyes are in a zone now, and at this time, confusing Arizona State a little bit. There's another pass that goes out of bounds, and so the Buckeye zone has Arizona State completely confused at this point in time. Last two passes have not gone to anybody but out of bounds, and here comes Ohio State, and they could lengthen that lead to 9 as Ransey gets it across the 10-second line. It goes to Ellinghausen, right corner. LA faces up, wants to give it to somebody, finally finds Kellogg. Oh, the drive on the baseline. A two-hand slammer by Kellogg, and we're up by 9. Good feed by Ellinghausen. The basket by Kellogg. He now has 9, and the Buckeyes lead 49-40. Arizona State brings it down. Lever with a basketball goes into the pivot. Williams got a shot up. It is good. Sam Williams on a little 10-foot jumper just inside the foul line. Williams now for Arizona State has 6, and the Buckeye lead is cut to 7. 49-42, Ohio State. Kellogg with a basketball on a drive to the key. Stops, pops the jumper in and out. No good. Rebound underneath by Alton Lister. Outlet pass to Lever. Lever brings it down. Sam Williams. He'll take another jumper. This one is up. No good. Kellogg on the Buckeye rebound. Kellogg will bring it himself. 3-on-3 situation. Kellogg on the drive. Got it up. No good. Hit by Herbie Williams. And it's hit by Kellogg, and they're going to nullify it. They call offensive goaltending on Kellogg. Herbie had it almost ready to drop. It started to teeter the wrong way, and Kellogg dumped it in. And they nullify it. And that was a pretty good call. The ball was in the cylinder, and down it came, and the Buckeyes lose 2. Sun Devils bring it back. Top of the key, Brian Scott. Into the corner, far side, Williams. Now they go to the pivot. Lister, turnaround jumpers up and in. Basket by Alton Lister. He's a good one. A 7-foot junior for Arizona State, scoring over Williams. He now has 11 points. And Arizona State has chopped the Buckeye lead to 5, 49-44. Ellinghausen now with a basketball at the foul line. Dribbles it into the corner, gives it to Kellogg. Kellogg going to have to bring it back out front to Ransey. Into the pivot, Herbie Williams. Turn around, got a whistle and a foul. It'll be on Lister. Lister got a hand on Williams. Ball out of bounds to Ohio State. Kellogg tries to get it into Williams, throws it away. Picked up by the Sun Devils. They'll bring it themselves. Lever down the lane. He's going to stop and take the shot himself. Got it up. It is no good. Rebound controlled by the Buckeyes. Kellogg. Outlet pass to Carter Scott. Carter on the drive. Stops. Pulls up short. Fires it up and in. From the foul line, Carter Scott, a 15-footer. 8 points for Scott. Buckeye lead now 7, 51-44. Lever brings it down, comes into the corner, near side to Sam Williams. Cross-court pass in the corner to Scott. Now back out front, Lever. He's got the jumper up and in. That time, the zone couldn't move as quickly as the Sun Devil passes. And the open jumper by Lever. 51-46. Buckeyes by 5. Ransey brings it down. Gets it to Carter Scott on the drive. He takes it baseline, stops, pulls up short, fires the 8-footer. It's good. Scott now with 10. Buckeyes with a 7-point lead.
Tremendous confidence, smoothness. He just waited for a shot, a little fake, up and in.
Here come the Sun Devils. They bring it down and they throw it away again. That is the 3rd time they have thrown the ball out of bounds and nobody in the vicinity. And Arizona State, when that ball goes out of bounds, wants to take time out. So there's time on the court with 15 minutes and 24 seconds remaining in this game. It's Ohio State 53, Arizona State 46. We'll be back with more in 1 minute. Jimmy Smith is back into the ball game for Ohio State. They go to Williams into pivot. His turnaround jumper is up. It is good. Ohio State 55, Arizona State 46. Lever brings it down. He's going to take it himself. It's going to be way short. Williams on a rebound for the Buckeyes. Here we come. Ransey on the fast break. Kelvin in the lane. Takes it over to Carter Scott. He's got a jumper up and in. Basket by Carter Scott. Feed by Ransey. Buckeyes by 11. That's the largest margin of the ball game. 57-46. Lever, top of the key. Buckeyes in a zone. Arizona State has not been able to figure out what to do with it right yet. Top of the key, Lever. Near side, now to Sam Williams. Back out front, Lever. He's going to take the jumper. He's got it up. It's going to be way off. No good. Rebound, Kellogg with strength. Here come the Buckeyes again. It's going to be 3-on-3. Kellogg could have put on a little fancy Dan and almost lost it. We still have the basketball. Oh, I know Coach Eldon Miller just turning over inside. Kellogg was going to do some fancy, and it almost put the backfire on us. We still have the basketball. Ransey in the corner, into the pivot. Herbie Williams, turnaround jumpers up. Oh, get in there, no. Whistle and a foul, and it is on Lister. This will be a shooting opportunity, I'm sure, for Herb Williams. Herbie will have two, and the Buckeyes could increase their lead to 13 if he could can both of them. Williams, a 66% free throw shooter. He has 16 points on the afternoon, and his foul shot is up. It is good. 58-46, Buckeyes by 12.
John, what the Buckeyes are doing, and they're playing smart basketball, is they're taking their big man away from the basket, giving Herbie Williams the 15-foot jumper so Clark Kellogg can concentrate on playing basketball around the bucket.
All right, and as you are telling me that, Kellogg from the second hole on the foul lineup is called for up and over the back, so he picks up a personal foul. The second foul shot by Herb Williams was no good. Buckeyes lead by 12, and Arizona State brings it down. Top of the key is Scott. Scott gives it over on the far side to Johnny Nash, who came in at the timeout. He's got one up and in. Johnny Nash, the junior, who scored 4 points in the first half, has now added his first 2 in this half, and has cut the Buckeye lead to 10. It is 58-48. Ransey brings it down for Ohio State and goes to Herbie Williams, who is way out in the wing right side. Now top of the key to Carter Scott. Into the pivot, Kellogg, turnaround jumpers up, short, no good, gets his own rebound, puts it back up and in. Kellogg playing a nice basketball game here today. 60-48, Ohio State again by 12. Scott brings it down into the pivot. Big fella, turnaround. Back by Jimmy Smith. What a job he does on the big fella inside. Out Lister on a turnaround has it slammed out by Jim Smith. In double figures. Inbounds pass. Arizona State way out front to Brian Scott. Buckeyes now in a 2-3 zone, so a bit of a variation in the zone. Ball batted away out front, picked up by Scott. He's got a jumper up off the glass. It is good. Check it. Lever off the glass. 60-50. Buckeye lead cut to 10. Lever with 5. 13 minutes remain in this contest. Buckeyes have a 10-point lead. Carter Scott on a drive across the lane, stops, gets it into the corner to Ransey. He's got the jumper up. Good. Basket by Ransey. 18-foot jumper, left baseline. Feed by Carter Scott. Buckeyes by 12. Far side, Scott down into the corner to Nymphius. He'll take the jumper, blocked by Kellogg, and I think a foul has been called. Personal foul on Kellogg. Nymphius had the jumper started from that left baseline. That is his third, and so the Buckeyes now have a couple of people with some foul problems. Nymphius will go to the line. He has 8 points on the afternoon. A 70% free throw shooter. He's got the first one up. It is good. He is 5 for 5 on the afternoon. He'll have one more. This one is up. It is also good. 62-52. Buckeyes lead by 10. No pressure yet by Arizona State. They're kind of letting things unfold as they will. Ransey brings it down, goes into the corner to Carter Scott underneath the Kellogg. He's got a shot up off the glass. Can't get it to go, but he is fouled. Oh, and I think they've called the charge on Kellogg. I hope not, but yes, sir. They have called the charge on Kellogg. That is his 4th.
Kelvin wants a timeout, can't get their attention.
Well, he called timeout. 2 plays. Arizona with the Buckeyes on top with 12:16 to go by 8, 62-54. How important has Clark Kellogg been in this ball game?
Scott, this loss will hurt the Buckeyes. Scott, he has 11 points and 9 rebounds at present. He will be replaced by Tony Hall. Tony averages 3 points on the season, but he's a very smart basketball player, and they use him for his quickness.
Quickness, plural, isn't it? Quicknesses. All right, we're ready to go. And the basketball will go to the Buckeyes, and I mentioned just a moment ago that Arizona State was not putting on any pressure. Let me retract that statement now as they come out with full court pressure. Buckeyes have good quickness. Carter Scott will break it himself, takes it in, tries to slam dunk, no good. Ball comes off the hoop, and Arizona State has it. Arizona State brings it back. Ryan Scott out front. Gives it off to Lafayette Lever, and now into the corner to Johnny Nash. Into the pivot. Turnarounder is up. No good by Liston. Ball loose. Picked up by Jimmy Smith. Over to Tony Hall. Hall will bring it himself. Cross court to Kelvin Ransey. He's got a jumper up and in. Basket by Ransey to silence the crowd. We're back to a 10-point lead. 64-54. Ohio State on top by 10. Sun Devils bring it down on their own court here at Arizona State University campus. Into the pivot. Man open. Nifty has got a shot up. Short. No good. Rebound comes to Tony Hall. Tony will take it himself. Going to take it himself. He's got it up. Off the glass. What a beautiful move. What a beautiful move. He glided from the foul line. And it looked like he wanted to slam it. Decided to let the defender go by, and he laid it up nicely off the glass.
He's one of my favorite people, too. He's got a wife and a beautiful child, and he's an ex-serviceman. He's decided to come play basketball here at Ohio State. This is his senior year. This could be, if they lost, his final game. So he's playing his heart out.
And he's a walk-on. He made it as a walk-on, and has been with the Buckeyes for 4 years. He's a 75% free throw shooter, and he shoots with the wrong hand. He's got this one up, and it's no good. The rebound is controlled underneath by Alton Lister, but the Buckeyes have a 12-point lead. 66-54 on Tony Hall's last shot. With the basketball out front, Lever. Into the corner, far side. It goes to Johnny Nash and back out front. Nymphius with a jumper to foul lines. Got it up. It is no good. Rebound loose underneath. Going to be taken by Kelvin Ransey. Ohio State with the basketball. Kelvin out quickly. Across the 10-second line and into the corner, far side. He'll hold it up. Defense by the Sun Devils back quickly. Into the pivot. Herbie Williams. Turnaround jumper. He's up a little long. Got a whistle and a foul. Going to be called on the big fella. Going to be called on Lister, I believe. Well, no. They're going to give it to Scott. But I'll tell you, Lister got him too. Now they've changed it. Herbie will have 2 foul shots. His first one is up. It is good. He now has 17 points on the afternoon, and he'll have one more. 67-54. Buckeyes' next foul shot by Williams is also up and in, and the Buckeyes have ballooned their lead to 14. It is 68-54. Just under 11 minutes remaining in the contest. Ryan Scott brings it down. Throws it away. Picked off by Tony Hall. Over to Kelvin Ransey. Ball loose. Going to be picked back off by Arizona State. Arizona State takes a long pass down to Lister. He's got the shot up and in. Well, we had a pair of turnovers, and Arizona State ends up with a 2-pointer, uncontested in close. 13 points for the big fella, Alton Lister. Ransey brings it down for Ohio State. Buckeyes have a 12-point lead. Carter Scott out front. Comes near side to Ransey. Into the pivot, looking for Herbie. They get it in. He'll have to bring it back out. Kelvin open at the foul line. He's got a jumper up. Going to be a little short. No good. Tony Hall puts one up. Block. Herbie Williams now has it. He puts it back up and in. Basket by Williams. A good second effort by Tony Hall. And then a third effort by Herbie. And the Buckeyes once again up by 14. They have dominated the second half. 21 points for Herb Williams. He has dominated play inside also. Johnny Nash with the basketball for Arizona State. A beautiful block by Tony Hall, but a foul has been called. Tony Hall went right up with Johnny Nash, who is 3 inches his senior on the court. Blocked the shot, and a foul was called. Well, Johnny Nash will go to the line. On the season, averages 7 points per contest. He is a 66% free throw shooter. His foul shot is up. It is good, and he'll have one more. He now has 7 points on the afternoon in the reserve role, and he'll be able to move that up to 8 with the second attempt coming up now. Got it up, got it in. 70-58. Buckeye lead cut to 12. Carter Scott in the backcourt gets it up to Kelvin Ransey. Buckeyes are going to come down 3-on-2. Kelvin at the foul line, pops one up, no good. Tony Hall on the Buckeye rebound. Has the ball batted away, picked up by Arizona State. The give over to Lever, has the ball batted away out front. Let's see, we got a whistle. Wait a minute. And a foul's been called on Jimmy Smith, actually away from play. He was coming down to get into the flow of things, and he got into it too much. That is the 4th personal foul on the Buckeyes' Jim Smith. Also, coming off the Arizona State bench, we see Sam Williams. He had a good first half. Smith's 4th personal. There's a pass inside. Beautiful move down the lane by Lever. He caught the pass in midair and just laid it in the hoop. 70-60. Buckeye lead, 10 points. Ransey brings it down. Goes to Jimmy Smith, top of the key. Into the corner now to Carter Scott. He beats his man, and there'll be a foul called. Foul's going to be called on number 11, Brian Scott. So the Scott boys tangle on that play, and Carter picks up the personal. He'll not go to the line, and now Brian Scott has 4 personals for Arizona State. So there has been a lot of whistle blowing in this one. Neither team yet in 1-1. Both teams, by the way, have committed 5 fouls apiece in this half. There's the inbound pass to Carter Scott. Open at the foul line, takes a shot up. It is no good. Jimmy Smith on the rebound, ball loose. Going to be picked up by Nymphius. Outlet pass now to Brian Scott. Here come the Sun Devils. There's a shot. There's a whistle and a foul. We're going to call it on Kelvin Ransey. A blocking foul called on Ransey. That is his 3rd personal foul. And that is the 6th foul against the Ohio State Buckeyes. So again, it should go out of bounds. The Sun Devils will have it. Johnny Nash will bring it inbounds. Baseline, he goes into Scott. He's got a jumper up, no good. Ellinghausen on the Ohio State rebound. In the backcourt, it goes to Kelvin Ransey. He'll get it across the 10-second line with no Sun Devil pressure. Ransey makes a move down the lane all the way into the corner. Now back out front, Carter Scott. Right back to Ransey, right side, into the pivot. Kellogg, nice move. Has the ball kicked away, picked up by Ransey out front. He's got a jumper up, no good. Rebound controlled underneath by Sam Williams. Arizona State has the ball. Outlet pass to Scott. There's a pass to Nymphius. And let's see. Well, they're going to give it to the Buckeyes.
WZLE, Lorraine.
He was just giving that official all kinds of problems. Well, now they're going to give it to Arizona State. Okay, now he could have argued now, I guess. There's the inbound pass to Sam Williams. He's got a shot up. It is no good. And Kellogg, I think, has picked up his 5th personal foul. That's it, John. The foul has been called on Clark Kellogg. That'll be his 5th. Well, there goes Kellogg, and we'll have to wait and see what Eldon Miller wants to do. Pass shot by number 30, Sam Williams of Arizona State is up. It is good. And he'll have one more. Buckeye lead cut to 9. Could be cut to 8. There's the shot. Oh, he lost control of that one. It is no good. Rebound out of bounds. Goes to Ohio State. 70-61 the score. 8.5 minutes remain in the contest. Buckeyes will have to finish this one without the services of Clark Kellogg. Oh, they had a fake charge out front by Johnny Nash. Could have been a technical. Carter Scott did a nice job by not running over him. To Kelvin Ransey, baseline. He's got a jumper up. It is off the rim, no good. Rebound to Nymphius. Outlet pass to Lever. He's got a shot off the glass. In and out, no good. Got a whistle and a foul. That's going to be on Ellinghausen. Ellie is called for a personal foul. Boy, I'd hate to count the number of fouls that have been called in this ball game. We got a long way to go. The basket was no good. And number 12, Lever will go to the line to shoot 2.
You can feel the momentum slowly starting to switch, John.
All right, Lever, a 71% free throw shooter, now goes to the line, has his first one up, pops in and out, no good. Well, we've had a couple of breaks on the foul shooting where Arizona State was just super in the first half, 14 of 15. They've missed a few here in the second half. Next foul shot, he's going to miss them both. And Ellinghausen went up for the rebound, had it for a moment, then it was batted out of bounds by Johnny Nash of Arizona State. Buckeyes will get the basketball. Tony Hall will inbound the ball. And Ohio State wants timeout. 8 minutes, 16 seconds on the clock. That remains in the contest.
The East Boulder Colorado Springs, Colorado, 80909.
Buckeyes get the basketball inbounds to Carter Scott. He'll bring it down himself. Gets it into the corner to Ellinghausen. Back out front, top of the key now to Kelvin Ransey. Ohio State leads by 9. Ransey being checked closely by the Sun Devils, Lafayette Lever. Goes to Tony Hall in the corner. Now back out front, top of the key to Carter Scott. Into the pivot. Herbie Williams. Turnaround jumpers up. Tipped up and in by Ellinghausen. Ellie way up in there on a missed shot by Herb Williams. Tips it up and in. 72-61. Ellinghausen now with 6. There's Johnny Nash. Got one off the glass. Can't get it to go. Rebound controlled underneath by the Buckeyes. Kelvin Ransey. Another nail in the coffin if we get this one back, folks. Ransey across the 10-second line. 11-point lead Buckeyes. They have the basketball. Tony Hall back out front to Carter Scott. Carter down the lane. Stopped at the foul line. Is creamed by Brian Scott. So Carter Scott will go to the line to shoot a couple. Brian Scott will be the second person to foul out in this basketball game and the first Sun Devil. So each of the teams here today in this regional tournament game have lost one player. Carter Scott at the line, an 81% free throw shooter. Eyes the hoop, pops one up. It is good. He now has 13 points on the afternoon, and he'll have a chance for one more.
Some Ohio State folks here with us, no longer rooting for the Buckeyes. Gordon Inskeep, whose brother John is with the Columbus and South Ohio Electric Company, wants it to be remembered to his brother. His brother's a Buckeye fan. They don't talk during these contests.
All right, Herbie Williams. Next foul shot is up. It is good. Or Carter Scott's foul shot is up. It is good. And Arizona State brings it back. They go to the pivot. Lister's turnaround is no good. And the rebound to Tony Hall of Ohio State. 74-61. 7 minutes, 5 seconds remaining. Buckeyes on top. Kelvin Ransey into the corner. Far side to Tony Hall. Back out front to Carter Scott. Carter to Kelvin. Ransey looking. Would like to go inside to Herb Williams, but cannot. Good defense inside by Sam Williams. Ransey now to Carter Scott. Gets it right back. Kelvin down the lane. Stops. Goes into the corner to Tony Hall. Gets it right back out front. Less than 7 minutes now remaining. Into Herbie Williams. He's got a turnaround jumper up. No good. Hit by Tony Hall. No good. Another one by Ellinghausen. Back up and in. Ellie doing a good job inside. Has scored his 8 points. 76-61. A 15-point Buckeye lead. Buckeyes in his own defense. Tony Hall trying for the steal. Runs over top of Lafayette Lever. Okay, let's make it 14 as Lever hits the first of a one-on-one opportunity. A second shot is also up and in. 76-63. Buckeyes 13-point lead. He gives it Kelvin Ransey. We got a 2-on-1 situation. Kelvin over to Jimmy Smith. He's got a shot up. It is no good, and a technical be called. Jimmy went for the slam dunk and got nothing but iron. He grabbed the rim, missed the shot. He is unhappy with himself, and I think his coach is also unhappy with him. Well, this is letting the opposition score with the clock stopped, and this is not what we want to do. 6 minutes and 18 seconds show on the clock. That remains in the game. Arizona State will go to the foul line. Johnny Nash has a foul shot up. It is good. One shot is that. Johnny thought he had another one, but it is only one shot on the grabbing of the rim. 76-64. The ball now out of bounds to Arizona State. Near side, it comes to Sam Williams with a basketball. Out front, top of the key, and into the pivot. Lister's got a turnaround jumper up and in. It bounced past to Carter Scott. 76-66 now the score. So that 15-point lead got away from him real quickly. Give is now to Kelvin Ransey way out front. Under 6 minutes remaining in the contest. Give it to Carter Scott. He drives all the way to the hoop and is fouled. The personal foul will be called on Paul Williams. Personal foul on Williams will send Carter Scott to the line for a 1-and-1.
Willie Shepard, who's a faithful Phase 1 listener, I said, boy, we'd be more than happy to.
We'll all say hi. Hello. And Carter Scott's foul shots are both up. They are both good. Buckeye lead now back to 12, 78-66. In the backcourt, Lever brings the ball down, comes to Williams near side, now top of the key to Johnny Nash. Into the pivot. Goes to Lister, out of his hands, picked up by Herb Williams. Turnover, Arizona State. Buckeyes have it. Kelvin Ransey will bring it down. Kelvin with a basketball checked by the new fella, Brazant. Into the pivot, Jimmy Smith back underneath to Herbie Williams. He's got his shot up. And we got a whistle and a foul called. It's going to be on Pierre. Pierre got a hand on Herb Williams, and Herbie will go to the line to shoot, I believe, 1-and-1. It looked like he may have caught him prior to the shot. Foul shot by Herbie Williams is up. It is good, and there goes the second one through. Ohio State 80, Arizona State 66. In the backcourt, Lieber brings it across. Looking for help. No, he's just going to take, nope, he drops it off to Pierre. Pierre on a drive to the baseline, gets it inside. And he's going to be called for pushing off. So Pierre Prasad, the sophomore, picks up his second personal foul. And the Buckeyes will get it at three-quarter court. Ohio State lead now is 14, and Carter Scott gets the inbound pass. Behind the back dribble, double team, gets it over to Kelvin Ransey. Ransey open to the foul line, going to bring it back out front. 5 minutes, 5 seconds remaining. Ohio State with the lead, could get a little deliberate. Inside, they try to go to Herbie Williams. Ball batted away, picked up by Kelvin. He drives the lane, puts it up and in. Well, we got a break. And Kelvin Ransey scores and gives the Buckeyes a 16-point lead with under 5 minutes remaining. Ransey now with 21. Arizona State brings it down. Nephews with a basketball. Ball thrown way over in the corner, picked up by Pierre on the far side. Was not thrown to him, but he did get it. There's a drive, ball loose, picked up by Ohio State. Number 12, Lafayette Lieber, lost control of the basketball, was picked up by Kelvin Ransey. Ransey with a basketball, gets the pass down court to Carter Scott. Carter into the pivot, Jimmy Smith, he's got a jumper up, partially blocked, controlled by Tony Hall. He puts it back up, out, no good, rebound controlled underneath by Arizona State's Lister. Outlet pass to Pierre. Pierre throws one intended for a wingman coming down, and Carter Scott made a nice effort over to try to get it, and he almost got us. The ball will go to Arizona State right in front of us. In along the baseline, it goes to Lieber. Lieber with the ball. Now to Johnny Nash, back to Pierre. He's got a jumper up, way off. Pierre missed everything. Missed the rim and caught the backboard. It came down quickly and then went off the rebounder, and Ohio State's going to get the basketball. Huggins, double team, gets it across the 10-second line. Tried to get it to Carter Scott, but he threw the ball behind him out of bounds. Turnover Buckeyes. Arizona State will get it near the 10-second line. Under 4 minutes remaining in this contest, and the Buckeyes have a 16-point lead. It's getting awful close to song time. Get the kazoo ready. We're going to be rolling today. And we're going to Tucson for the basketball. Arizona State brings it down. There's a baseline drive, far side. A shot jump taken by Williams, no good, and rebounded inside. I believe Nymphius got it and put it back up and in. 82-68. Buckeye lead, cut to 14. Huggins gets it up to it across the 10-second line and gives it to Tony Hall. Gets it right back. Buckeyes offense has it spread out all into the corners. The Carter Scott, he goes to the baseline, fires one up, no good. Rebound. Well, Jimmy Smith is going to be called for his fifth personal, backing in, and he was trying to get position for the rebound and got caught pushing one of the players out. He'll have the one-on-one opportunity. The foul shot is in and out, no good, and Herbie Williams is there to board for the Buckeyes. 82-68, Ohio State on top. Time running down. We're very close to the 3-minute mark remaining. Ransey gives to Carter Scott, right side. Lob pass underneath to Herbie Williams. Turnaround jumpers in and around down, no good. Rebound, Ellinghausen's got it back up. Might be a foul called. I thought maybe goaltending too, but they have called a foul underneath, and I think it's been called on Johnny Nash. That's his first personal foul. Ellinghausen will go to the line. Now get this. Ellie hits these two. He'll have 10 points. He'll be in double figures off the bench. Ellinghausen with 8 points on the afternoon. Will get 2 shots. His first foul shot is up. It is good. Ellinghausen now with 9. And could be the 5th Buckeye in double figures. As he eyes the hoop, puts this one up. It's in and out, no good. And the rebound comes to Kurt Nymphius. Buckeye lead now 15. 83-68. With the basketball out front now as Lafayette Lieber takes it in along the baseline. Johnny Nash into the pivot. Turnaround jumper is up. It is good by Lister. 83-70. Buckeyes in the backcourt. Lister now with 17 for Arizona State. Ransey gets it down, tries to pass into the corner to Tony Hall. It is batted out of bounds by Johnny Nash. Buckeyes will get the ball right in front of their coaches. Tony Hall will handle the ball for Ohio State. Tony's inbound pass goes into the corner to Ellinghausen. Ellinghausen to Kelvin Ransey now. And now to Carter Scott, top of the key. 2.5 minutes remaining in the ball game. L.A. takes the ball back out front to Kelvin Ransey on the drive. We got a whistle and a foul. Well, Ransey just blew around Lafayette Lever and is fouled on the drive, and it's going to put Ransey to the line to shoot 1-and-1. First foul shot is up. It is good. He now has 22, and he'll have the bonus.
John, there's a couple of folks behind us chanting, "Where is Pierre? Where is Pierre?"
Next foul shot by Ransey is up. It is also good. Ransey with 23. Buckeyes again by 15. 85-70. In the backcourt, Lafayette Lever brings it down at the foul line. Drops it into the corner. Jump shot. Johnny Nash. No good. Johnny on his rebound takes it in, puts it up, loses it out of bounds. Well, the Buckeyes are going to make that trip back to Columbus, Ohio tomorrow. On a bright note, knowing they're coming back to Arizona on Wednesday. Williams with the basketball to Ransey out front. 2 minutes exactly remaining in this contest. Buckeyes lead by 15. Carter Scott goes underneath to Herbie Williams. Turnaround jumper is up, and he is fouled. The foul will be called on Alton Lister, and I believe that will be his last one. And so the second Arizona State player has fouled out. Williams' foul shots are both up. They are both good, and the Buckeyes now lead by 17, their largest lead of the ball game, 87-70. Down comes Arizona State with a basketball out front. Lever gets it near side to Nash. Cross-court pass stolen away by Tony Hall. Here come the Buckeyes. 3-on-3 situation. Tony will hold it up. Tony Hall to Kelvin Ransey way out front. 1:35, and the Buckeyes by 17. Kelvin Ransey down the lane, beat his man, stopped at the foul line, cross one up, it's good. Basket by Ransey. Buckeyes by 19, 89-70. Arizona State brings it down. Lever takes it underneath, intended for Nymphius. The ball goes through his hands and out of bounds. Okay, boys, are you ready? Here comes a lot of substitutes for Ohio State. And right now, I think we can get the tuba out, or whatever it is, and sing, "The Buckeyes will shine tonight, the Buckeyes will shine when Herbie slams and Jimmy jams. The Buckeyes will shine." Well, we have got the first NCAA victory under our belt. It is Tucson bound now as we lead by 19, and Coach Eldon Miller has unloaded his bench. And we will drop those names on you as they come into play. The first man is Nate Sims. Sims in the backcourt gets a pass from Huggins. Right back to Larry across the 10-second line. Huggins at the foul line. Baseline to Ellinghausen. He's got a jumper up. No good. Underneath, Waiters on a tip. No good. Finally controlled by Arizona State. Quickly, here comes Pierre down the... Oh, Pierre had a wreck. Pierre ran right into Ellinghausen at about 90 miles an hour, did a double flip, and went out of bounds, and I think he's going to go to the foul line. Pierre's foul shot is up. It is good. He's just a 46% free throw shooter, but he's got the first one up and in, and he's in the scorebook in the NCAA tournament. Substitution, Buckeyes, Cliff Kirshner into the game, replacing Ellinghausen, and what a game Ellinghausen had tonight. I mean, just super. Pierre's next foul shot up. Uh-oh, this one's off. No good. Waiters, rebound, Ohio State. Outlet pass to Huggins. Here come the Buckeyes. Huggins to Kirshner. Kirshner's got a jumper, has it partially blocked, controls it. Back out to Huggins. Cross-court pass to Todd Penn. Penn's got a jumper up. A little bit long. Air ball for Penn. Rebound Arizona State. Less than a minute remaining. With a basketball, Brazant gets it into the corner. Long shot taken by Kuiper, who just came into the game. Ball loose, picked up by Nate Sims. Stolen away by Pierre out front. He's going to take the drive down the lane. He's got a jumper up. It's going to roll around. It's in. Basket by Pierre's got another shot up, and he's fouled. And he's going to go to the line again, and let's wait and see who it's on for Ohio State. Well, it's going to be nice maybe to go into Tombstone and Nogales and a few places in the next couple of days. 72 degrees when we came into the gym, probably be only 70 when we go out
I want to thank you for rubbing it in as I fly back tomorrow and following doing the show from my room at 3 a.m. morning tomorrow. I would talk myself into that one, John. I'll never know.
Pierre at the line. His foul shot is up, in and out, no good. 89-73 the score. Buckeyes have a 16-point bulge with 20 seconds remaining. Next foul shot by Brozant's got it up. This one's way off. Kirshner's going to let it go out of bounds, and the Buckeyes will get it. For Ohio State in the lineup now, Todd Penn and Nate Sims are the guards. Also in for Ohio State, Cliff Kirshner, Granville Waiters, and Mitch Hawes. Inbounds pass to Hawes in the backcourt. Mitch and I have talked this thing over, and in the closing minutes, I told him to put the ball up. Penn is in trouble, going to lose the ball. Going to be picked up by Arizona. There's a drive down the lane. Jimmy Butts is in the scorebook for the Arizona State Sun Devils. 89-75. Penn brings it down at the buzzer. Lets it fly. It is no good. And this game is in the record books. This one belongs to the Ohio State Buckeyes. They now are the fourth team to go into the Sweet 16. 4 teams from the Big Ten have made it to the regionals in NCAA tournament play. The final here tonight, Ohio State 89 and Arizona State 75. We'll be back with post-game festivities right after this message.